Hello, ESL114 students. Welcome back. Today is Thursday, April 16th. A couple of things I'd like to mention. I'm still waiting for second drafts of your resumes for many of you. So the first time you sent me your resume, I received it and I made some comments on it. If you look on Canvas, you should be able to see that. Not using a phone, but using a computer. You'll be able to see my comments on there. Then I expect you to fix up your resume and send it back to me again a second time. So it's those second drafts. I'm still waiting for them from many of you. Let's see. And because by the end of the semester, I want you to have a perfect resume. Also, did you check your answers on the answer key on Canvas? Every time you do listening, I will put the answer keys up there for you so you can check to see what the correct answers were. Now today, let's do something a little different but the same. Remember in class we used to have listening dictation? Well, today we're going to have some listening dictation. I'm going to say 4 sentences for you, just like we did in class. I'll repeat each one 3 times. But you need to get a piece of paper and a pencil right now and write them down. Are you ready? Okay. Here comes sentence number 1. Could you tell me about a usual workday for this job? Again. Could you tell me about a usual workday for this job? Again. Could you tell me about a usual workday for this job? Okay, sentence number 2. What are the most important qualities for someone to do well in this position? Again. What are the most important qualities for someone to do well in this position? Again. What are the most important qualities for someone to do well in this position? Sentence number 3. What do you like best about working here? Again. What do you like best about working here? Again. What do you like best about working here? And question number 4. What are the next steps in your hiring process? Again, what are the next steps in the hiring process? One more time. What are the next steps in the hiring process? Okay, well, did you notice that these questions are a little different from the ones that we've been listening to before? These are different because these are questions that you can ask toward the end of your interview. Interviews almost always end with, do you have any questions for us? And these are some examples of questions that you could ask. So please check your answers. You can pause the videotape and check your answers now. Now I'm going to say each one of these one more time because I would like you to listen and underline the words that I emphasize the most in each one of these questions. Okay, are you ready? Number 1. Could you tell me about a usual workday for this job? Underline the emphasized words. Again, could you tell me about a usual workday for this job? Also, how did I end the question? Did my intonation go up or did it go down? Mark that as well. One more time. Could you tell me about a usual workday for this job? Number 2, underline the emphasized words and mark the intonation at the end. Does it go down or does it go up? Number 2, what are the most important qualities for someone to do well in this position? Again, what are the most important qualities for someone to do well in this position? And one more time. What are the most important qualities for someone to do well in this position? Number 3, underline the emphasized words, mark the intonation up at the end or down at the end. Number 3, what do you like best about working here? Again, what do you like best about working here? Again, what do you like best about working here? And the last one, underline the emphasized words and mark the intonation up or down at the end. Number 4, what are the next steps in the hiring process? Again, what are the next steps in the hiring process? Okay, now I'm going to show you the words that I chose to underline. Can you see the ones that I underlined? The first question is a yes/no question, so it goes up at the end. But number 2, 3, and 4, they all go down at the end because they're information questions. Now the words that I underlined are the emphasized words, just the stressed syllable in those words. The other words are going to be reduced and short. So like number 1, could you tell? Could you tell me? Okay, so short, short, long, short. So I want you to mark the rhythms as well. The underlined words are long, but all the rest of them are going to be short. And that's going to help you build your rhythm when you practice these questions. So that's one thing I'd like you to do is practice saying these questions, build in the rhythm, the emphasis, the intonation, and choose 1 or 2 of the questions that you would like to use at the end of your job interview. Now remember, our class ends with a job interview, a mock job interview, of course. It's not a real one, it's a practice one, but we take it very seriously. Now, because our class is not meeting as usual, we have to change the way we're doing it. So we're going to be using something called Zoom. Fanny already is using Zoom. So if you've gone to visit her, you've already had some practice using Zoom. I'm learning how to use it now, and by the end of the semester, I should be pretty good at it, I hope, and so would you. So I'd like to practice using it so that by the end of the semester, it'll be easy for us to figure out how to get in and out and use it the best way we can, because that's how we're going to have our job interviews. You will Zoom with me, and I will ask the questions, and you will answer the questions. And then at the end, you're going to ask me some questions. And this is good practice because more and more employers are starting to do job interviews this way. And then the second interview, if they're really interested in you, then they call you in. But quite often the first interview is going to be something like this. So it's not a waste of time. It's good experience for you. So we're going to be using Zoom. And we need to figure out how to do it. Fanny already has, and I'm still working on it. So I'm hoping to have everything ready by next week, Tuesday, so we can have a lesson Instead of by video, we're going to use Zoom. So that's my plan. I'm not ready for it yet, but I'm hoping to be ready by next Tuesday. So my plan is I'm going to send you an email with a link in it that will invite you to our Zoom class on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, our usual class time. So try to be available next Tuesday at 1. If you can't, I totally understand, but do email me back and let me know. But you do need to practice figuring out how to use Zoom. So I highly recommend that you be there Tuesday, 1 o'clock. I will send you an email invitation. So to recap what we have done and what's going on, today we practiced listening to questions that you might ask at the end of your job interview, because it's really important for you to have 1 or 2 questions ready to ask. If they ask you, do you have any questions for us? And you say, no, that doesn't look good. You should have a question ready. Okay, so that's what you're doing. You're practicing those questions and you're choosing 1 or 2 that you like, that you can say well and use. Next, you're also working on your spoken exercise 5, talking about your biggest weakness. Remember, don't choose a real one, just a really bad one. Just choose one that's obvious, like, oh, English isn't my first language. And then turn it around into a strength by telling about how you're working on improving your English skills. So that's spoken exercise 5. That's due April 20th. So you should be working on that, picking your questions, and don't forget to get my email on Tuesday so that you can join the class as a Zoom class on Tuesday at 1 o'clock, okay? So meanwhile, I hope you're all well. Have a nice weekend, and I look forward to seeing you on Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Bye-bye.